Up next in the Call of Duty League calendar is CDL Los Angeles, where Optic Gaming and the Guerrillas will host 6 more teams that are all hungry to put some points on the board. At the last tournament, Atlanta FaZe became the first team in the Call of Duty League's history to defend their home series event, and they did so in style, despite a close call in the semi-finals.
There's 20 seconds remaining to complete the reverse sweep!
They need to get everything, there's no time! There's no time at all left for Florida, and Atlanta FaZe defend their city.
Now all eyes are looking forward to the City of Angels for the next home event. With plenty on the line, who will be crucial to their team's success? We've rounded up 7 players to keep an eye on at CDL Los Angeles. With everyone expecting a Huntsman vs FaZe final at CDL Atlanta, Florida Mutineers shocked the CDL world when they reverse-swept Chicago Huntsman in the semis.
It's all to our city to try and clutch. He can't do it! As Florida gets the W, Prestini wins the battle versus brother.
Prestini was pivotal in the Mutineers' comeback against his twin brother Arcites, with his selfless objective work paying dividends. It wasn't just in the semi-finals that Prestini stood out, however. He was on fire throughout the whole event.
Teammates will be coming to assist, he's not missing! Prestini, stop it! Trophy out as well, he may not even need it, the man is on a rampage!
He particularly shone in domination, where his slaying prowess bagged him the second highest kills of CDL Atlanta, only 10 behind Sky's total of 382 kills. His 13 kill streak against Royal Ravens is one that will be etched in spectators' minds for quite some time.
He himself saying he's been underperforming. Well, this is the performance you expect to see. 13, almost 14 before finally falling. But Prestini just went on one hell of a run.
Despite falling short to FaZe in the grand final, Prestini was the indispensable cog in Mutineers' well-oiled machine. Can he continue his form to lead Florida to a second successive grand final appearance? 2019 world champions Simp and Abizi have commanded the most attention on the FaZe roster so far, but it was Celium who earned the MVP award in the CDL Atlanta win. The 19-year-old was vital to FaZe's home series defense, proving that he could slay teams off the map while still doing the dirty work around the objective. With their backs against the wall in their semi-final matchup versus Minnesota Rocker, Celium showed up when his team needed him the most, racking up 100 kills in the series with a 1.2 KD.
It was kind of like a hard road to be in finals and stuff, and especially semifinals was really tough for us because we went down 0-2, but we brought it back and got the dub. Down 0-2, our whole team was like, guys, we got this. Just take it map by map, and then we did that.
Alongside Abizi, Celium was Mutineers' kryptonite in the grand final. After a convincing 3-0 sweep, the FaZe pair will be keen to repeat their antics against the Florida squad when they meet again in the opening match of CDL Los Angeles. But will Celium prove just as deadly away from the support of his home crowd? Despite being Minnesota's flex player, Godrx has been posting numbers that most main ARs would be proud of. Whether it's an M4 or an MP5 in hand, Godrx can do it all. He's even lethal with a sniper rifle, as he's currently the second most deadly marksman in the league with 10 kills. Alongside being Rocker's top fragger, Godrx has been putting in the objective work on Hardpoint 2 with an impressive hill time of around 50 seconds between his past 2 events.
They've got a hold to the north stand, strong Rocker, get it done!
However, it is domination where Godrx comes into his own. By averaging 26 kills per game, he takes the strain off his teammates and makes the objective work a much easier feat. After all, who can forget his standout domination performance against Chicago Huntsman, where he clocked in 30 kills with a 2.0 KD ratio. After coming close to raining on Atlanta FaZe's parade in the semi-finals of CDL Atlanta, Godrx will be looking to come out the blocks hot in Los Angeles. Despite being accompanied by a star-studded lineup, Octane has seemingly put the rest of the Seattle Surge on his back in their opening 2 weeks. He did everything in his power to pull his team into bracket play at CDL London, but his strong slaying and handy objective work wasn't enough to get them past the Dallas Empire.
Make that 31 here as the time ticks away. Dallas Empire, too strong for the Surge.
3-0.
After suffering an early exit in London, Seattle's main AR has a point to prove in LA. Given that Surge missed CDL Atlanta, the veteran lineup have had time to work on their weaknesses since their last outing. With 5 World Championship rings between them, you can't count the Seattle Surge out just yet. As the oldest pro in the Call of Duty League, Clayster certainly knows a thing or two about the competition. The 27-year-old has shown that age is just a number during Dallas's opening events. Despite going 0-2 during launch weekend, the Empire struck back in London and grinded their way to the grand final. At the forefront of that run was Clayster. By locking down rotations on hardpoint, putting on a clinic in search and destroy, and controlling the lanes in domination, he led his team's charge throughout the event.
Clay's doing it again, he's in from behind again! Clayster with 2!
Palmer's gonna find 1. He's gonna go back and Clayster! He's certainly a fan favourite.
After losing for a 3rd successive time to Chicago at CDL London, Empire will be breathing a sigh of relief that their Achilles heel won't be in attendance this weekend. So will Clayster continue his hot streak and help his squad climb the standings? Los Angeles certainly gives Empire a prime opportunity to put their stamp on the competition. With only 10 CDL points to their name, there's no doubt that New York have had a rough start to their Call of Duty League campaign. Perhaps their only shining light from the Subliners' first 2 events, Accuracy, has been the Big Apple's only ray of hope thus far. He was the key ingredient when Subliners dished Paris Legion some humble pie at CDL London after running through the French representatives 3-1.
It is just a tragedy of all proportions for Paris, trying to fight their way through mid-map to get to this hill. New York putting an absolute stamp on the game.
Well, GG New York Subliners.
Despite this being their only victory in the league to date, Accuracy has posted some incredible numbers, accruing the highest hill time in hardpoint while still winning those all-important duels as the team's main AR. Subliners find themselves in the group of death in Los Angeles, competing against Empire, FaZe and Mutineers for just 2 spots in the playoffs. If they have any hope of making it out, Accuracy will need to continue his stellar form. After bowing out of CDL Atlanta 0-2, Optic Gaming are still seeking their first win of the inaugural CDL season, and where better to do so than in their own backyard. Optic may look like a shell of its former self, but Dashy's doing his utmost to keep the Green Wall's hopes alive. As the only player to have a positive KD rating for OGLA, Dashy's been grinding his way against the grain in their opening 2 events.
Dashy shuts him down. Nail-biting ending to a game in this series.
If there is somehow a tie in this hardpoint, I don't stop!
After a shoddy start to the season, Optic are sitting rock bottom of the standings, still yet to find a single win. As a result, Dashy's set to pick up an SMG for the upcoming event, as Slasher looks set to go back to his AR roots. Will the role change help them get off the ground at last? Optic Gaming's opening match against their local rivals, Los Angeles Guerrillas, certainly sets the stage for the talented roster to swing the tide in their favour. So, what will be Hollywood's blockbuster story of the weekend? Will OGLA chalk up a win versus their rivals? Can someone stand in the way of Atlanta FaZe making history and going back-to-back? Only time will tell, but these players will certainly have their say. Let us know in the comments who you think will be the most impactful player of CDL Los Angeles, and be sure to like the video and subscribe for more Call of Duty League content.